we're going to get into my strong reason for why and the approach that I'm taking to design my reasons for training and to essentially ensure that I never ever give up on training, that I'm always disciplined and motivated, and hopefully I can use that and use this video to help inspire some of you guys to design your own strong reasons for why and help prevent anyone else from giving up on themselves or giving up on their program, and figure out how to push through. To do that, though, we're going to go through my original reasons for why as a young 16-year-old high schooler, and then we're going to work our way towards my reasons for why now, how they've changed, why I train, and this is going to be the first part of a multi-part series because it's going to take some time to explain from the very beginning to how I got to where I am now, and then of course how I intend to use my system to further develop myself and my programs. So originally, as a 16-year-old, I was a little bit of a weakling. I was pretty small physically, but mentally I was even smaller. So I was a little bit of a coward, very low self-esteem, of course. So it's nothing crazy, nothing unusual. Most teenagers are anxiety-ridden, but so in my case, I was getting bullied quite frequently, and I wanted to pack on some muscle, just enough muscle so that it would be visible, I thought. So that would be enough to get certain people to leave me alone. So if I looked a little bit muscular, I would look like I could put up more of a fight, and then people would not be as willing to pick on me, you know? Looking a little bit bigger, more manly, maybe a little more intimidating. You know, I was had a lot of anger, but I didn't really know if I could ever direct it at the people who, you know, picked on me. So I just wanted to put on a bit of a display of strength and size. Okay, so after a year or so of training, I did get some muscle, and more than that, I did get some confidence in myself. It made me want to take my why, my reason for doing this, in a different direction, and I decided that I wanted to be impressive, not just visually, physically, but also with the abilities of my body. I wanted to start learning not just bodybuilding, but also like martial arts. I wanted to do strongman. I started to find out about like the world's strongest man and things like that. I definitely wanted to get pretty good at parkour and fighting and all the things essentially that I thought were really cool. And at the time I wanted to be an actor, so I thought maybe this could translate to action films in my future. I thought it could help me get into stunt work or doing my own stunts as an actor. And so I had a lot of big dreams there, and I opened the floodgates by taking on training and weightlifting. It seemed like there was all kinds of possibilities. So I really, really wanted to be good at everything. At the end of the day, as I became around 17, 18, I started to get the idea that I could combine all the coolest things that I could think of. So the strongman, the parkour, the martial arts, and the weightlifting, I could put them all together, and that would be my ideal. That would be the best way to train, because I could get good at all of them at once. And I could essentially present to the world the coolest possible person with the greatest amount of skills and abilities. It's pretty funny, but it's not unusual to want to do a lot of things, I know, and in some ways I still actually do want to do a lot of different training styles, but the difference is my reason for why isn't to be cool, it's not to look cool, it's a lot deeper than that. And it doesn't really... Being ultra capable, looking super strong, etc., in and of itself doesn't lend itself to a really strong reason for why. It's more of the byproduct. Does that make sense? It's more of the byproduct of having a strong why. And once I understood that, I've started choosing and identifying within myself reasons to train that come more from fundamental beliefs and priorities that are more aligned with ethics and morals than anything else. And I'm incorporating that into the personal system that I'm creating. Okay, so essentially these values are designed to fit into two categories. I have noble reasons, so sort of ethical, moral, virtuous reasons, and I've also got sort of baser reasons, sort of animal-driven, instinct-driven, egotistical reasons, because I do believe that if you look deep within yourself, you can pretty well divide things into those sort of more noble and more shallow reasons, and they are both inevitable. You know, you can work towards virtue all you want, and I believe everyone should, but you can't ignore the parts of yourself that are animal, because it's natural, you know? So to get into the noble reasons, so I want to develop my body to essentially directly protect and also create the best life possible for my family. So that would be the family I have now, my future wife, my future kids, maybe grandkids, and also indirectly create a good life and protect society as a whole. So that would be perhaps through my exercise programs, through providing information from this channel, and any other means I can come up with along the way, right? So I also want to grow as a person, which fitness, of course, is probably one of the best available venues to do that. I want to learn more about myself, you know, what I'm capable of, how hard I can work, and etc. And I also want to learn continually what it means to be alive, you know, to struggle, to persevere, to get rewards for that, to have setbacks and issues to overcome, to learn so much more about what it means to be alive. And yep, okay, one more. And I also want to experience my life as healthily and for as long as possible by being the best and healthiest version of myself. So whether or not I live for a long time or a short time, I intend to do that through health. You know, I want to enjoy my life. I can't see myself enjoying my life to the utmost by being unhealthy or succumbing to vices. It's not a good way to go. It's not enjoyable. You know, anyone who's living with any vices or bad habits or immorally, you know, for the sake of short-term pleasure, they, you know the difference between living a good, healthy life and living a bad one. Okay, so that just about summarizes all the noble reasons. Now we're going to the dark side. It's pretty dramatic, but yeah, these are my sort of ego-driven animal reasons, as I call them. Okay, so I want to be stronger, bigger, more capable, athletic, etc., so that I can crush threats. So to crush threats to myself, physical or otherwise, and to my family and to those I care about, as well as to anyone I don't know who might be under attack in a really undeserved way. So I'm not advocating for being a hero, just a good person. I'm sure you can think of several scenarios in which you would want to act in a violent way to destroy a threat, because otherwise you would be left feeling pretty terrible about yourself, right? Okay, so I also want to be able to travel confidently through life under the knowledge that I am strong and capable of violence and self-defense. And I can only do that through, of course, improving my strength and fitness, practicing martial arts and so forth, and even though it's dark, to be able to think of different ways to hurt people, it does lend you some confidence knowing that you've got certain skills to protect yourself or your family. Okay, so, and as a connected reason, I want to be tougher and harder to kill. So to be mentally tougher, to be able to overcome pain, suffering, and difficulties, and the harsh realities of life, and harder to kill in a very literal sense. Like, if you have more muscle, you're more physically durable, it's certainly harder to hurt you, you're better able to take impacts. We can take something very specific, like if you have a strong, thick neck, you're more able to take a punch to the jaw because your neck will absorb some of the blow. Okay, you can survive a car crash because your neck is thicker and stronger. That's one example. Okay. Okay, so moving on, I would like to use fitness to make myself more attractive to other people due to muscularity. So this isn't talking about sexual attraction, this is talking about fitting better into society because you're taking care of yourself, and when you look consistently better and better, you'll find that people tend to respect you a little more. They will tend to listen to what you have to say, especially if you're working in the fitness industry. As a personal trainer, I've experienced being a trainer as a slightly overweight person and as a more fit person at a leaner body weight, and I can tell you that it is absolutely fine for people to trust you more if you present yourself in a healthier way, because no one wants a personal trainer who's fat and unhealthy looking, especially if they are the ones who are trying to come to you to lose weight. Not to mention the fact that most clients, they can't fully understand or recognize what your knowledge and capabilities are. That's why they're coming to you in the first place. So first impressions do count, unfortunately. Okay. So moving on once again. So another base animal reason is to appear intimidating to bad people to ward off threats. Okay, so this is separate from the slightly connected but not totally connected to wanting to be stronger and capable of violence. Okay, this is actually more about preventing those situations from ever occurring. So, and it also ties into what I just said about people who don't know much about what someone might be capable of by not being as knowledgeable about fitness or someone's physical capabilities. You can't look like a good fighter, right? People don't see that. They see someone who either has visible muscle or they see someone who doesn't have visible muscle and size, and they will make a judgment call based on that. Some people are just shitty people, and they will attack people if they think there is a certain certainty of being able to take them on in a fight. Okay, so you can ward people off, prevent people from taking that chance if you pack on a certain amount of size and muscle, and even work towards certain aesthetics within your training. Okay, and I'm going to get into a little bit more discussion about bodybuilding in a later video and why I think that can be a pretty fantastic way to help with your training system, even if your goals are mostly practical. Okay, almost there. And okay, so conversely to the bad people reason, there is also the good people reason. You want to appear impressive to good people and gain their respect. So you want to appear intimidating to bad people and impressive to good people. Okay, and you want to appear impressive to good people so that you can feel both good about yourself, so you can earn a little bit of respect. You can start discussions with people who are also excellent at their physical training, and it just sends a good message about the kind of person you are and what you do with your body. Okay, and we're almost there for the ego-driven reasons. So when you're we want to build up charisma and healthy level of testosterone, and you can only really do that through looking after your physical health, through your diet, through exercise, okay? And through the energy you get through building up your strength and fitness and stamina and so forth. It really does build up your confidence. Even if you're a pretty anxious person like I have been, the more fit you get step by step, it will really improve your base level. Even if you're undergoing a lot of stress, if you've got an outlet for that stress, you're going to get through things a lot better off than you would have normally. Okay, and thereby increasing your hormonal profile will be a lot healthier. You're going to have more more of an ability to carry yourself in a way that looks good, that people will appreciate. Okay, so that just about concludes the first part. I will be getting into the next step in a later video where I talk more about 4 key components to my approach on training myself towards this ideal. And then after that, we're going to get even more specific into how to choose the right kinds of movements and training, and then we're just going to get steadily more and more specific. So we start off with the reasons for why, then we get all the way to an actual solid, actionable solution. Alright, that's the full video, and let me know what you guys think. I'm still not used to talking to camera. This is about the longest I've ever spoken without breaking off, and I hope you've gotten something out of this. Alright, catch you later.